Welcome back to another reaction for Witch Hat Atelier episode 9.
いらっしゃい。今日はこの前のものを受け取りに。
先日頼ん
Whoa, 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 whoa. A nightmare stained in black.
先日頼んだ魔木を受け取りに、あと杖がひび割れちゃって修理もお願いしたいの。
あんなに強い光だったのに、じいちゃんが何も見ていないなんて変だ。キーフリーさんなら何か知ってるかな。あるいはあの人が。
Maybe. Grasping Wind Seal. Again, new signs. Sigils. No, signs. Sigils in the
手
middle.
で山リンゴだけを取るにはちょっと魔法陣が大きすぎたみたいだね。
はい、最初は陣がち
Oh.
最初は陣が小さくてリンゴを揺らしただけだったから強くしようと思ったんですけど、引き寄せの矢に角度をつけてね。
What? How about angling the sign of pulling so it makes a twist? Okay. So this is a pulling sign.
矢に角度をつけてねじれさせたら、ほら、リンゴって取るときにもぎるでしょ。
いい工夫だね。目的に合わせて矢を変えれば魔法はいくらでも応用が効くんだよ。
失敗したら理由を探して、成功してもなんでだろうって考える。繰り返しの練習はダメなとこ考えて試すため。惰性じゃない復習が大事なんだよね、先生。
その通り。教えるのが上手だね、テティア先生。
テティアが先生、嬉しい。テレちゃん、もっと言ってもっと言って。
I got.
人の面倒を見てる暇なんてあるのかしら。未熟な自覚があるのならその分練習に当てたらどう？
Just because you are allowed to do the next test doesn't mean that you are so much superior.
練習するからお手本見せて。あなたたちは呼び寄せてない。試験の勉強で忙しいんだから遊んでる暇なんて。
So we now have seen a new sign, a sign that is pulling. I assume towards the words where it's showing, maybe? I don't really know. And you can twist the sign, so depending on how you put the sign on the seal, casting seal, determines how it is moving. I believe we even saw that with her spell, right? It was also twisting. I would have liked to see her casting seal, Agots, that is, to see the difference.
ダダ山脈で受けた王の許しみたいな試験が他にもあるんですか？ある。やる意味がわかんないのが5個もある。試験なんてなくても書けるのに。
自分で試して自分を知るためにやるんだよ。
I assumed it would be 3 because the rule of 3. 5 tests?
意味があるかないかは取り組む側の考え方次第さ。とはいえ自ら挑むのでない限りはどんなことでも楽しむのは難しいよね。昔の魔法使いたちも同じことで悩んでたみたい。魔法は人を幸せにするためのもの。弟子たちが苦しんでたら本末転倒だろ。だから三賢者様は考えて試験をみんなが受けたがるような外の世界の冒険にしちゃったんだ。
Okay. It should be a test that everyone should be adventures in the outside world that anyone wants to take. I feel like the first test was not really like that.
許しをもらいて弟子となる。第一
Oh. Now I see.
の試験、王の許し。忠義を示して死と歩む。第二の試験、騎士の忠誠。その道正しくば鍵を得る。第三の試験、門番の問い。望みを叶えて一人立つ。第四の試験、女王の祝福。教授を与えるのは汝。第五の試験、賢者の教示。これが魔法使いの五芒星試験。先に進むごとに魔法でできる仕事、許されることの範囲が増えていって、第4の試験で一人前と認められ、死のもとを卒業する。
And the fifth test is to become a teacher yourself.
図書の塔に挑めるのは、第3の試験を終えてからだ。
Okay.
最後の一つは弟子を取るための試験だし、卒業もまだ考えなくてもいいけどね。
テティアはね、卒業した後のことよく考えるよ。すごーく遠くまで旅をして魔法でいろんな人を助けて、世界中でいろんな人のありがとうを聞きたいんだ。ありがとうって言う人とありがとうって言われる人、一つの魔法で二つの幸せ、それって最高にハッピーでしょ。一石二鳥、一挙両得。喜びはいつだってツインテールだよ。だから早く大人になって二つの角のとんがり帽子をデザインしたいんだよね。その髪型にそんな意味が。
Can you do that?
一人前になったら帽子も自分で選べるようになるしね。
Oh.
ティチャは試験なんて
Okay. You get to choose your own cap or design. Okay, interesting. I mean, her goal is only works for herself, right? Because she likes to be thanked. So if she does something good, a person thanks you, so they are happy. You are happy because you got thanked. Not everyone is on the same idea or wavelength. However, it's a nice goal to have to be helpful to other people. I don't know. I mean, we seemingly get to find out more about the other people. We know our girl wants to rescue her mom. Agod has something to prove. So the question is mostly about her now, the blue-haired
大
girl.
嫌い。めんどくさいもん。誰かにやりなさいって言われて書きたくない魔法書くのやだ。好きな魔法だけ書いてたら今のまま使える魔法は増えないわよ。増えなくていいもん。やりたくないことやらなきゃいけないのが一人前の大人ならティチャは今のままでいい。先帰る。
Okay, so it seems like this episode is revolving around her, right?
リチャ。
私は今のままなんて絶対嫌。やれないことが多すぎるもの。早く全ての試験を受けたい。そしていつか図書の塔の司書になる。
Hey, cool that you can just invite me over, right?
すぐにでも大人になりたいくらいだわ。
アガットの一族は三賢者様が記憶を残した弟子の一人の家系でね、代々師匠を務めてるの。確かアークロム家だったかな。
アガットが目指してるのも図書の塔なんだ。
That is a good question. Do you need to solve the riddles of the tower to be a librarian? Or is there a different approach? Because she wants to get to the tower because she wants to search for the book. And that is why we need to solve the trials. Also, can you take the trials in a different order? Do you need to go by the numbers, or could you just do trial 1, trial 3, trial 5 and be like, yep, I'm now a mentor? Or is it building on top of each other?
ココはどんな魔法使いになりたいの？
私はみんなと出発点が違うからやらなきゃいけないこと決まってる。とにかくまずはもっともっと使える魔法を増やさないと。よーし、もう一度風寄せの手を書くぞー。
書いたら覚える、覚えたら使える。そうやって身につけた君の力は絶対に君を裏切らないからね。
Okay. Now, we should not forget that he did erase the memory of the old guy. So that is going to be interesting. We at this point, we don't really know what his connection is with the brimmed hats. But it seemingly is going pretty deep in his backstory. I mean, he's willing to become bad or evil for the sake of the brimmed hats or finding them.
あれ、みんなはもう暗い。いつ夜になったんだろう。
ここ
Mm.
ここ
お母さん、ごめんなさい。私が悪いの。私のせいなの。傷つけるつもりはなかったの。ただ魔法を諦めきれなくて。
だからあれほど言ったのに。普通の人間には無理なのよ。
I still find it interesting. Here it looks more like stone, but because of the blue, it always reminds me of ice. But it is petrification.
お母さん、
何も知らない知らざる者は全部あなたのせいよ。ここ母親を石に変えたのも私たちを危険に巻き込んだのもそんなつもりはなかったって言うんでしょ。
スバーリボーには関わりたくない。
人にはできることとできないことがあるんだ。
例外が存在してはならない。
こうならないために隠されていたんだ。
君が魔法を望んだからこうなったんだよ。全部君のせい。世界が壊れるのは君のせい。
The last part is, I feel like, the only part that may be true. We also don't really know what the idea is of the brimmed hats and giving her magic. I assumed they were out to just proliferate. Is it proliferate? I don't really. To share the secret of magic with more and more people, show them that everyone can use it. Here's the special ink. Here is the pen. However, it seems like there is a bigger goal they have in mind. Coco is going to do something they will be unable to do. We know there's a connection between the ink bottle she had, which I believe now Keyfrey has. He more or less bought her new equipment, right? And the brimmed hats, there may be like a little portal or whatever inside her head that connects with the brimmed hat. It may be that they want her to become a full-fledged witch, get access to some specific point or place and then use her as a location to infiltrate that place. Like, the only obvious choice I see is the tower. Because the tower has a trials, they are the librarians, they are all mages. You probably cannot really approach the tower that easily. But if she becomes a full-fledged witch or fulfills the third trial, gets access to the tower by doing the trials there, they can then use her as a location or whatever to go inside the tower and most likely find some kind of magic book. Because the tower has every magic book ever made inside. That is the only thing I can see at the moment that could be their goal. Maybe there's a magic book that has a casting seal that is super strong. It may also be, we don't really know how it happened, but in the past we had all these wars going on, and then there was like a little group of mages who came together to erase the memory of all the other mages, right? To erase how magic really works. Maybe they want access to that spell, erase everyone else's memory, and then it means that only the brimmed heads have access to magic. Maybe. But there's definitely a bigger reason for her. And it doesn't feel like it is because she has some kind of special ability. It just is because she successfully did magic and they are now focused on her. Because not everyone would be able to do the magic, right? She had the book since forever. She had the pen since forever and the ink. But only after seeing Keyfrey was she able to use magic.
Oh, 先生。
まだ起きてたの？
時間が惜しくて。
ダメだよ。無理もほどほどにね。
はい、もう寝ます。
Yeah, but what are you doing here, Keyfrey? Sneaking around?
あなたもまだ起きてたのね。
うん。ちょっと眠れなくて。書いたら覚える。覚えたら使える。お母さんを助けられるようになるまでには、あとどれくらい書けるようになればいいんだろう。
What are you doing?
待っていたんだ。ずっと。この日が訪れることを。人体にかける魔法を禁止とする。
Righteous Witches of Healing Craft, which now is illegal. Right?
三賢者の選択に最後まで抵抗したのは癒しのための魔法を使う良き魔法医たちだった。
Okay. We get some past. It does make sense. Because the whole idea is, oh yeah, all we only accept magic that is more or less good or makes people happy. And we don't want any magic that could be used for evil. So they don't want magic to be used on your body. Most likely because it is going to increase its power as well. Similar to like the ink. And therefore they forbid every magic that is targeted to someone. Apart from memory erasing magic. And it is very weird that healing magic is one of the magics they forbid. It is really weird.
彼らと共に記憶から失われた双子瓶の魔法は薬の共有のために作られた医療魔法。たとえ片方が遠く離れた地にあってもジンが刻まれたメダルを介してその中身は共有され、必要なものが空になることはなかったという。結託の日以来失われて久しい古き繊細な医療魔法。作り出せるのがツバーリ棒とは皮肉だな。美しい魔法だけど解体させてもらうよ。奴らとつながる唯一の道だ。魔木にはまだ手をつけない。未知の力は危険だから。用があるのは魔法陣が刻まれた。
I mean, you did use it last episode, so
瓶の中に隠された。
what do we have? We have some ink.
瓶の中に隠されたメダル。向こう側にバレないように取り出せるか。これは奴らに属するもの。このメダルを導きの魔神球に放り込めば含有物、持ち主、作られた場所、あらゆる痕跡が彼らを示す針となる。些細な手がかりよりもっと確かな居場所をつかむことができるんだ。
Wow. I assumed it would be a coin with something sketched on it, but it is translucent, which makes more sense why it was more or less not visible, was no one knew it was there.
襲来の魔法、気づかれたか。
Was that a trap, or did they use the ability that these two vials are connected and used magic through the coin?
水、まずい。
I guess they used magic through the connection.
油断した。水中では魔法は無力だ。
Okay. So yeah, they use the space through the coin. That seems broken. It's essentially it's a little window gate, huh? A window walk, right? Because they can use the magic through this connection, which makes it even more potent than only sharing ink vials. You can do a lot with this. You could have like a bunch of them around. Activate traps and stuff. Also, it's one of those things where if you know the weakness is water for making spells, wouldn't it make sense to have some kind of countermeasure? Even if it's expensive, something you can do or can use so you can counteract a water focus attack. Like maybe have a casting seal on a piece of leather, maybe tattooed into something. And because, I mean, as example, the rings, right? Have like two rings that you combine and then you have like a little bubble that allows, that has some air in it that allows you to cast more spells. I would definitely have some kind of countermeasure if water is that dangerous. Now, he probably did not expect them to attack him here, but still. Whoa, 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 whoa. The coin is moving around a lot. It looks like it was some kind of water clone. Did his memories get erased? Now that he's saying that, I feel like what could have happened, because we don't really know much about his past, do we? Maybe he was similar to Coco. He just liked magic, he was an apprentice. Maybe he got used by the Brimmed Heads and did something or was involved in something that is illegal and got his memories erased. Question is just how did the Brimmed Head do that? So they were able to go there, teleport there, most likely again through the coin, but it felt like it was a copy because it then dissipated. Because if you get rid of the coin, you can't use the coin to go back again. The window walk, right? So I assume it was some kind of clone magic. Also, is this outside or not? This looks like a fake environment.
せっかくあの子にあげたのに。ああ、台無しだよ。
It may also be, first off, the hand, okay, nothing special. He's using, or they are using the ability again to just teleport away. I don't know what this ability is. Now, it may be that they have a casting seal on their body that allows them to do this. Because it is forbidden, so there has to be a reason. Most of the things that seem to be forbidden are most likely because they are very powerful, one way or another. So maybe having a casting seal on the body allows you to activate the casting seal whenever you want, instead of it automatically activating when the circle closes. It may also be very powerful. There are a lot of things that could happen. Because this is like the third time he used, or they used that spell without having any obvious spell being showcased. Which also just is because our assumption is that you need to draw the casting seal to cast spells. But we don't really know. This is just what we get told is how you use magic. Which may be a lie, or maybe the truth.
あくび揃った。今日ずっとだよね。 二人して夜更かし？わかった、夜な夜な魔法騎士に変身して襲い来る敵をバッサバッサ。
変身は禁止魔法だから、あくびが止まらなくなるくらいなら夜はきちんと寝るべきよ。あなたここ数日夜中もずっと起きて練習してるでしょ。
ほら、夜中ってつい筆が乗っちゃって。
Why are you lying? You can tell the truth. It's not that bad. Just tell them you have nightmares about your mom. You can't sleep.
ダメだよここ。気持ちはわかるけど無理は良くない。
良い魔法は良い睡眠から、あとご飯。
オル先生も言ってたよ。
ガキのうちは寝とかないと大人になったらガタが来る。
テティや安眠用のアルブチャ入れてあげる。先生もいる？先
ごめん、何の話？ごめん。ご飯食べたらぼーっとしちゃって。お茶は僕が入れるよ。
Some good fatty food is going to put you to sleep real quick. It
生、
seems like he's
本
still
当に
weak.
大丈夫？
大丈夫。まだ昨日のしびれが取れない。いやー、しまったな。最後のアルブチャダメにしちゃった。外に出て葉を取ってくるよ。みんなは基礎魔法教本を進めてて。片付けは後でやるからね。
Just go to sleep. It's not that hard, right? It's not like you need to be somewhere. You can just be like, hey, did an all-nighter for some reason. Don't need an explanation. You go to sleep. Take Bush Buddy with you. Cuddle with him.
なんか今日の先生変。
やはり睡眠不足の影響は絶大。
今晩はアルブチャの刑だね。
そうだ、アガット。ちょっといいかな。これ返すね。
私の飛び靴。
返すの遅くなっちゃってごめんね。綺麗に書かなきゃって思ったら時間かかる。
So you did the seal. Okay. I hope we get some explanation. Some more explanation about the specific
ちゃっ
seal.
た。
もしかして昨日もこれを？
でもみんなほど上手な魔法陣じゃないから、書いてみて飛びにくかったら書き直してね。
I mean, huh. Some of the arrows are longer than others. But essentially, the important part is that you have a balance, right? If you have a short arrow on one side, you want the same on the other side, and it should be fine.
どういうつもり？何を企んでるのよ。ずっと気になってた。王の許し、第一の試験の時のこと。私に無理やり追い立てられたってあなたキーフリー先生に言わなかったでしょ。オルーギオさんに相談することだってできたはず。なのに私を責めもしないで飛び靴を修理してよこすなんて。どうしてなの？あなたの考えてること全然わからないわ。
あの日、確かにアガットは強引で、試験は怖くて一人は心細かった。あのまま何もしないで迎えを待つこともできた。だけどあの時多田山脈の麓に立って挑もうって決めたのは自分だもん。大丈夫、できるって証明したかったのはきっと自分自身。自分の魔法で困難を乗り越えていつか希望をつかめるって。でないと。
じゃあ何よ。ずっ っと気にしてたのは私だけってこと？
She's not doing well at all.
それって、お、ここ。
fever. I guess against the numbness.
よし、感覚も戻ってきた。
The little bush buddy. He also shoot. This guy's too cute. It feels like one of those cats or dogs who just mimic you.
よし、感覚も戻ってきた。変に思ったかな。里い子たちだから気づいたかも。知られたら終わりだ。絶対に隠し通さないとね。内緒にしておいてくれるかい？ふんふん。名前が気に食わないって顔だね。可愛いと思うんだけどな。
Oh, probably I got maybe with the shoes to get him. I mean, Coco seems to be just sick, you know, having a cold or whatever. It may also be his body, but I'm assuming it's Agot.
ふんふん。そんなに嫌？
先生！
驚いたよ、アガット。すごい速さだったね。
かかとの矢が長すぎて魔法陣がいびつだったからです。
ぜひ見たいな。
Not what she wanted to use as her message, but I guess she is so magic brained. As soon as someone is mentioning stuff about the casting seal, she can't help herself.
そんなことより大変なんです。ここが。
カレンの病院に連れて行ってくれ。
ああ、ルスは任せろ。
うん。他のみんなも何かあったらオルに相談するんだよ。頑張って。病院までもう少しだ。
I'm wondering, it's not, I mean, the carriage also had like a levitation seal. I'm wondering in the middle we have the white grip. Is that where the magic seal, casting seal is? Because it looks similar to like the window way. Right? One of the outer circles of the window way. It looks similar to that.
熱がさらに上がってる。早く医者に見せないと。
And this is where we meet our boy again.
じゃあ次俺からな。
よし、ちゃんとやれよ。
うん、行くぞ。
このくらい。おりゃ。
ちゃんと取れよ。
あれ、タタもう帰るの？
ごめん、渡り船の時間があるから。
そっか。お前んち中洲の島だっけ？
変なの。魔法使いの一族ならお前も飛んで帰ればいいのに。
Right, because he is not allowed. I find it still a little bit weird that he's not allowed to do magic. I don't see his color blindness as much of a problem, but
ああ、
いろいろと決まりがあんだよ。
てまた明日な。
またな。
I'm assuming he gets also his memories erased.
知らないやつは好き勝手言うよな。俺だって本当は。あれ フリーさん、どうしてここに。
タータ君、病院はこの先で合ってるよね。道が合っているか分からなくて。
あ、病院ですね。こっち近道を知ってる。
ありがとう。
Also, just to mention the memory erasing, how well can you pinpoint what to erase? Is it just a blanket? Is it like a time thing? Everything from now until like 10 minutes ago you lose memories of? They were willing to try and erase Coco's memories from like months ago. So, or is it just not as precise? He was pretty good at erasing the old man's memory of only what happened there.
お願いします。
ええ、お預かりしましょう。しばらくお待ちを。
大丈夫かな。助か
Okay. Now we go to the gaslighting,
った
right?
よ、タータ君。よくあんな道知ってたね。
このくらいなら誰だって。
いや、大したものだよ。君は観察力が鋭いんだね。物事をよく見てるのかな。
キーフリーさん、俺あなたに聞きたいことがあるんです。
No? Not good. Time. Oh no. I don't know how this is going to end. I can imagine him feeling or trying to sound out if Keyfrey is good or bad before he asks the question. Then seeing if he should abort or not. Otherwise, I mean, he can't really erase his memories right now, right? He could either gaslight him and say there was never a flash. I don't know what you mean. Maybe it has something to do with your eyesight, right? Try to do it at that angle, or yeah, there was a flash. I did not see any difference in your teacher. You are telling me there is something happened after? I see those two ways. I mean, the third way would be to just erase his memory as well, which I feel like is not what we would go for. I mean, he could also tell the truth, but again, also not what I believe he would do. Because then probably the kid could go to the Knights Morales, yada yada yada, because the magic of erasing memories, it is allowed, but I assume only specific personnel, like the Knight Morales. But Queefrey also knew the magic. I never really considered that. Is that a magic spell every mage knows or is allowed to use? I feel like it would not be allowed, right? It's too powerful of a spell. So therefore I feel like no, mages typically don't know the spell, how to do it. I'm wondering. I'm wondering now at least. How does Keyfrey know the spell? Does every mage know the spell? Is every mage allowed to use that spell, or which? Or if I had to guess, only the Knight Morales are allowed to use that spell to erase memories. It would make sense. They are the ones that try to keep the magic system hidden. Yeah, I never really questioned that he was able to erase memories. Huh.